Southern China is experiencing one of its most destructive flood disasters of the year after days of relentless rainfall inundated large parts of Guangxi. Entire communities have been submerged, transportation has been severely disrupted, and emergency teams continue working around the clock to rescue stranded residents. Dramatic videos shared online have drawn global attention, showing the enormous scale of the disaster and the difficult recovery now facing thousands of families. Hengzhou, a city in Guangxi, widely known as China's Jasmine hometown, is among the hardest hit areas. Continuous heavy rain caused rivers and reservoirs to rise rapidly, sending powerful floodwaters into neighborhoods, farmland, and commercial districts. Streets disappeared beneath muddy water, vehicles were swept away, and many homes suffered significant damage as residents rushed to protect their families and belongings. Much of the public attention has focused on the Liulan Reservoir near Hengzhou. Numerous social media posts claimed the reservoir suffered serious damage after extreme rainfall linked to Typhoon Maysak. According to those reports, large volumes of water flowed downstream, worsening flooding in communities including Shaoyi, Yunbiao, and Maling. Authorities reportedly evacuated residents from high-risk areas, raised the flood emergency response to its highest level, and deployed hundreds of emergency personnel. However, several online claims regarding the reservoir, including reports of a complete collapse and allegations involving previous reconstruction funding, have not been independently verified. Emergency operations have continued across flooded communities as rescue teams search for people trapped by rapidly rising water. Rescue boats have navigated submerged streets, while drones have been deployed to locate isolated residents and assist evacuation efforts where roads became impassable. Officials continue monitoring river levels as additional rainfall threatens already saturated areas. The disaster extends beyond Hengzhou. Guigang also suffered severe flooding, with historic streets and residential neighborhoods buried beneath thick mud after floodwaters receded. Families returned to damaged homes where furniture, electrical appliances, and personal belongings were scattered throughout the area. Heavy equipment and local volunteers have joined cleanup operations as communities begin the long process of recovery. Transportation infrastructure across Guangxi has sustained extensive damage. Parts of the G80 Guangkun Expressway were flooded, creating hazardous driving conditions and disrupting regional traffic. Near Qinzhou, powerful floodwaters reportedly washed away sections of roadway, leaving massive sinkholes that trapped several vehicles. Authorities closed dangerous routes, while emergency crews assessed structural damage and began repair work. Footage recorded by passengers aboard high-speed trains offered another striking view of the disaster. As trains crossed Guangxi, travelers captured vast floodwaters covering farmland, villages, and low-lying communities, illustrating the enormous geographic scale of the flooding. Schools have also been affected. Reports indicated that some students became stranded in dormitories because of rising water, while at least one high school in Guigang organized an emergency evacuation to move students to safer locations as flood conditions worsened. As water levels slowly recede in some areas, recovery efforts remain enormous. Roads are covered with mud, damaged buildings require extensive repairs, and utility crews continue restoring electricity and communication services. Thousands of residents now face the difficult task of cleaning homes, rebuilding businesses, and replacing property lost during the disaster. Although investigations continue into the exact causes of the flooding and reports concerning damage to the Liulan Reservoir, the immediate priority remains protecting lives and assisting affected communities. The devastating scenes from Guangxi, including flooded cities, drone rescues, submerged highways, and determined recovery efforts, highlight both the destructive power of extreme weather and the resilience of people working together to overcome one of China's most significant flood emergencies this year.